Hey guys, I'll just talk about like 3 tips about growing a bookkeeping or accounting business. Hopefully you can hear me. I know there's gonna be like wind because I'm kind of out walking. So maybe the energy of this video is gonna be a little bit different than usual because I'm like surrounded by nature, grass and stuff. I'm walking around my neighborhood right now, and I'm in Michigan, so it's like 63 degrees. It's March 4th, so that's really good. We've been having like some really mild winters, and then yeah, so I don't know. Global warming is a bad thing, but it does have some perks to it, which is like I think Michigan is becoming more of like a controlled kind of climate. It's more like all year round about the same, like 60 70, which I love. 60 70 degree weather, right? Because it was like what, 20, actually it was like 0 like a month ago. We had like a really low. But back to what we're talking about. So yeah, number one, when it comes to growing your business, you have to kind of build business into your lifestyle. So last year I went like way opposite of what I usually would do. So I didn't do much like physical activity. Like I worked out kind of every day, but I kept getting injured. Um, I had some different things going on, like with my micronutrients, like because I don't really eat a lot of salt, or I didn't eat a lot of salt, and it really made growing the business a little bit harder, right? So this year, what I started doing was I started doing more like active stuff. So, for example, like anytime I can, I'm going to be walking. I have a standing desk now, right? So I like standing up. I've been doing a lot of like stretching, and it's like really shifting the way that I kind of like approach business, in order to like have more health focus in the life, right? Because last year I was like more based on going on vacations. I was based on doing some activities, but just wasn't really health conscious, right? So now this year I just really want to do that. So I want to like really have a lot of mobility. And why is this important to a business? Because how you feel is going to determine how motivated you are to actually do certain things, right? Because I mean, at the point that I'm at right now, like we make like really good money, right, across both businesses. And if there are days when I'm not like motivated to do it, it's just not quite as fun, right? So it's like at this kind of stage in the business, like I can coast, right? I can make it work, but I still want to have like a really good quality of life where I'm extremely excited to work. I'm motivated. I enjoy talking to all the clients. I enjoy like kind of what we're doing. And I think that, when my sleep is better and I get like a full night's rest, when I go outside and it's like sunny and I can absorb the sunlight, my energy's better. I can think more clearly. And the reason why thinking more clearly is important when you have a business is because anywhere between like 0 to 6 figures. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're like under 6 figures a year in your business. Like you might be making more at your job, but I'm just assuming for your business. 0 to 6 figures is really about, can you stay focused? Can you do the right skill sets? And then can you just stay excited, energized, and motivated long enough to go and reach the financial goal? If the answer is yes, then you can hit whatever monetary goal you want. It's just about consistency in those 3 things we talked about. So first things first is your motivation and your energy level, which comes from health. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is your consistency with the right strategy. So easiest strategy if you're going to start a business, there's 2. I'll give you the one marketing strategy that I kind of like doing right now. It's kind of fun. It's you basically learn how to use LinkedIn. You build a LinkedIn profile. You figure out what are the words and phrases that you need to say in order for people to feel like really good about wanting to work with you, right? I like using a 3 to 4 messaging sequence. And I like to think in terms of my messaging as like rounds in boxing. So for example, first message, something to get the conversation going. Doesn't really have to be that great. Actually, even taking a step back. So first you have to send a connection message, right? I personally don't send out the connection messages myself anymore, because I have a virtual assistant that does that. But Send a connection request out to the people who kind of meet your target criteria. Assuming you've done that, 3 messages you send. Number 1, something to get the conversation going. Be like, what project you're working on, how is business going, great to be connected, how long you've been in business for. Doesn't really matter. Just needs to be a question just to see if someone's going to be willing to respond to you. Because if they reply, they'll buy, right? But if they don't, you have to keep messaging or finding new things to like bring up and like have them respond to you first, and now they're ready to start working with you. Second question needs to be asking and revealing if they have a problem. So most people don't really understand why potential clients would buy from them, and what that leads to is the conversations you have and the content you post are not very relevant to the people who actually want to work with you. I was sitting down with a student in our mentorship program the other day, and we were redesigning his messaging script, right? I wanted to give him a custom one. Like inside the program, we give most of our students like a template of like what to say, right? But for students that already have a really big audience, then it's like we want to make it custom for them, so they have the best chance at converting as many of their existing people who are following them as possible. So there was 10 main problems someone can really have in this person's case. Cash flow, could be time, like maybe they just don't have time to do their accounting and time to do their bookkeeping. It could be that the person doesn't know what they're doing. As a third problem, it could be that they kind of know what they're doing, but they just want someone to overview their work. It could be that they're paying too much in taxes. It could be that their CPA has told them to go find a bookkeeper. It could be that they need to have a cleanup. It could be that they need to be able to understand their financials. They could want to learn QuickBooks, a million different things. And I was saying, because on his profile, he was basically talking, and like his main thing that he was promoting was, I'll help you with cash flow. And I had basically had him, we did a brain exercise. And basically, okay, so out of the last 20 consultation calls you've had, how many of each of those consultations have fallen into which bucket, right? So there's like the different problems I talked about. Each problem is a different bucket. So I had to make tallies. And it's like, okay, so out of your last 20 consultation calls, only, I think it's like 1 to 2 people said anything about cash flow problems. And those people didn't even buy from him. So I'm like, wait. So that means that out of 20, that means probably, what is that, 5% of your people who come on your consultation calls have that problem. And of that 5%, they were not even willing to pay you money, or just for a reason they didn't sign up. Okay, so which bucket do we have the majority of our people in? And I can't remember exactly what it was. My memory is kind of fading right now because I'm walking. But let's just say, for the sake of example, it was that the people didn't have enough time. It was like a mixture of like time to do it themselves, as well as they just didn't have the right skill set, right? Because they're business owners, they're not necessarily bookkeepers or accountants. So just for the sake of example, we'll just say like that they couldn't do it themselves. Okay, and not only was that, we'll say 50 to 70% of the people that booked a call, of those, I think he was saying that about 40 to 50% of those people that were on the call for that problem of can't do it themselves ended up working with them. Okay, so then what we did was, so why don't we structure your message sequence around people who maybe are doing their bookkeeping, but they know they're doing it wrong? Or if they don't know they're doing it wrong, here's like, we call it like a lead magnet that basically helps them understand that they are doing it wrong, and actually has like a guided self-assessment to let them like basically come to the conclusion themselves that they're doing it wrong, right? So all I have to say is, now the second message he sends is usually around, do they feel that they're doing a good job, or do they know if they're making mistakes or not, right? So then now, whenever you get someone to say that they're making mistakes, or they don't really know or have a way to gauge if they're making mistakes, or if they say they don't really understand why it's important, right? Now we know there's a problem. From there, what he does is he invites them to a call. Now, I like doing a 2-call close. Basically, a 2-call close means their first call is just to get an understanding of the person, some pains, not like going too deep, but also understand like what is their budget, what is their mentality around your service, and just making it super, super easy for you to understand like who are you actually talking to. From there, we have them basically give us access to like their books, so we can just like price things out. Very simple. And then from there, we do our 45-minute sales call. But the whole point of that is once you understand like the second message of what to send, everything else becomes so much easier. Because then what you can do is the third message. All third message is if the person has the problem and maybe you have like a little short chit chat back and forth. I'm going to say your third pillar, your third core message is just an invitation to a call. Again, I like to invite people to a 15-minute call if I'm doing the marketing myself and if I have to price out their services. But if I don't, I just really like doing the 15-minute call. It's just what I've done. It's the easiest way for me. I've done it where I tried to do a 45-minute call straight, and that does work. But in a lot of cases for selling high-ticket accounting and high-ticket bookkeeping, you need to have proper expectations set along the way. One of the most annoying things to happen is that person sends you their books, you look at it, you see, oh my gosh, this cleanup is like $20,000, $30,000. You basically go through all the trouble of like making a presentation, building a proposal, and setting an invoice, and they go, whoa, $20,000. I was expecting to pay $100, right? It's like you just spend like an hour, not to mention the time it takes for you to analyze their books or do like a health report if you do that, or a diagnostic review, not to mention the follow-up that it takes, not to mention that you have to like spend time in the invoicing software. And it's just like, instead if you do a 15-minute call, right, and you can kind of understand like, oh, this person wants to spend money on this thing, or oh, I don't know, this person's like really, really serious about this. And there are questions you can ask to kind of determine like the seriousness level, as well as their budget and their willingness to spend money. Once you have that and you understand that, it does make the next call easier because they already have an understanding of the prices that you are proposing, right? So that's the second thing. Third thing is just going to be about really having the right mindset. Like I've seen so many people that like, they want to start a business, and like starting a business is not hard. You'll hit your 6-figure goal if you do the right things, okay? The thing that's hard about it is knowing what is the right actual thing, right? Because one of the worst feelings in the world is when you've been doing a strategy for 3 days, 3 months, 3 years, whatever the case might be, and it's not getting any clients, and you have no idea whether, what's going wrong. In a lot of cases, because you have the wrong strategies. I'm just being honest with you. It's just the wrong strategy, right? When you find the right strategy, it should feel very easy for you to get clients because it's very consistent and there's generally signs that something's like working. My lips. See how my lips kind of get really like they start peeling? It's because I'm still a little bit dehydrated for some reason, so I need to go take some salt, some sea salt, take some magnesium, maybe get some potassium from like some bananas or whatever. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I think I was dehydrated a lot when I was younger, and I never really paid attention. I just thought you just drink water. Water is hydration, H2O. But just one of those things that you learn in life, and that's also why you need to have money, right? Because it's like taking care of your health can be expensive, right? Because like, for example, just going to the doctors, let's say you don't have health insurance, or let's say that some people don't have a job and they don't have health insurance. I went to the ER 2 years ago because I would have went to urgent care, but the urgent care was like closed. This person's trying to like back out of the driveway, does not know how to drive. That is crazy. Like, come on, you can do it. Come on. Person's like going back and forth and back and forth. There's a giant beehive behind me in the tree. Giant beehive like right behind me. It's crazy. I don't know if she's gonna make it. Good to see you. So basically what it looks like, there's a truck and the person has like no car in the garage, so she's trying to get the right angle. But it happens. Man. It happens. I've kind of found that in life sometimes, like when I park, like especially I live like by a city called Ann Arbor, right, or Troy, a bunch of different like major cities near me. And like if I don't think about like how I'm parking, I can parallel park excellently. But as soon as I start thinking about the thing, right, then it's just like it kind of like breaks down, right? Same thing with like business, right? When you have the right strategy, you don't have to think about it. You just execute on the strategy and it works. But as soon as you start thinking about it, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. This is stupid. Oh, it's so much work. That's when things start messing up for people, man. And like I've been there, you know. I literally last year, like I like checked out for a little while because I was just like, it's just like there was no point in me like needing to grow the business anymore. It got to like a really just like simple level. And like this year what I'm doing is I am leaning the company out, meaning like any expense that's like not either contributing to the business, moving forward, getting referrals, getting testimonials, is like boom, we're cutting that off. Now I consider doing client work as part of growing, getting referrals and testimonials. So I'm not necessarily talking about that, but like I was spending like on certain softwares, like I think I spent $3,000 last year on it was like an email software. And so I don't even just like use that. I usually use like Gmail, and just like a bunch of like little things just all over the place like that. And it's just like I think I freed up about $50,000 straight to the bottom line just by like deleting some of these like old software that I had in the business, kind of moving around some of my VAs and like finding like which one's the most effective. But it's just like, you know, it has to start with a good strategy first. Be consistent, then just stay lean. You know, you don't need to make $1 billion a year. I mean, when you're making in your business, you know, 100, 200K a year, that goes a long way, especially with all the write-offs, deductions you can take. Like it goes a long way. It goes a lot further, like in your job. Like I talk to people all the time, where it's like you might be making like, let's say for example, like 120, right? And like for a lot of people in like the accounting field, that's pretty good. 120, 130. It's like back when I was making my first year in business at 100K, my net, like off that 100,000, even after taxes, was more than people who are making like 150. It's because like you could just know how to use like the tax game, the tax code. It's ridiculous. Plus, like even like if you have like insurance, like health insurance, like they have a lot of different like really affordable like health insurance plans for business owners. So you can really get on those pretty quickly. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. I'm gonna get off this so I can walk a little bit faster. But if you want some help growing your business, like this stuff is not that hard. Just be very, very consistent and just know the right things. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, that's okay. No one is expecting for you to do that, right? Think about it. Most businesses don't really make it. And it's not because business is hard. It's because most people don't have the skills, the understanding, the time frames, or the support to actually know what they're getting into. Wow, I don't know why my lips like that. It's just, wow, it's peeling. So if that's you and you just want some help, right? You just want the best way to kind of grow your business, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video. Book a call with myself. See if I can help you inside of our program. Okay? I can't help everybody. Like just physically, I just can't, right? I only accept about maximum like 10 to 12 people per month inside the program. It's not that I'm trying to be mean. It's just I want to make sure that every student I bring in to the program is someone that can help to the best of my ability, and make sure we can keep our results rate super high, because I want to be coaching, mentoring, and just in business for like the next like 10 to 15 years. And I can't do that if I just like scale this thing to have thousands of people inside of the program and and no one's getting good results. That's just not going to be a good look. People give me bad reviews and stuff. I just can't have that happening. So I do have to make sure that if I do accept you into the program, we actually know we can help you out. So if that's you, if you want to see if you like qualify and if you'd be a good fit, go ahead and click the link inside the description, book a call, and I'll see you on the inside. Okay? Talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy.